Welcome. This is a product overview of ComplianceForge's NIST 853 Revision 5 moderate baseline version of the Cybersecurity and Data Protection Program, which we call the CDPP. Over the next few minutes, we will walk through what it is, who it is for, what is included, and how it compares to writing this documentation yourself. Editable cybersecurity documentation focused on NIST 853 moderate alignment, compliance-focused policies and standards that come with a wealth of free resources, an affordable solution designed to be efficient, scalable, and business-friendly, and a one-time purchase. No subscription and no software to install. If a federal assessor reviewed your program today, could you show documented NIST 853 controls? With what you have right now, would your policies and standards hold up to a FedRAMP, RMF, or CMMC review? Or are they incomplete, outdated, or scattered across your team? For most teams, building NIST 853 documentation from scratch means months of senior staff time-mapping controls across the low and moderate baselines. The CDPP gives you a running start, aligned to the NIST 853 Revision 5 moderate baseline, with coverage that supports NIST 800-171 and Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification 2.0, levels 1 through 2. The templates get you roughly 80 to 90% of the way there. The CDPP contains editable policies, control objectives, standards, and metrics. So what exactly is the NIST 853 moderate baseline version of the CDPP? As a visual, here is where the NIST 853 moderate baseline sits on the spectrum of cybersecurity frameworks. It is on the more robust side of the spectrum, based on the topics it covers. Some context on why NIST 853 matters. The Federal Information Security Management Act, FISMA, and the Department of Defense Risk Management Framework, or RMF, rely on the NIST 853 framework, so vendors to the U.S. federal government must meet those same requirements. And for NIST 800-171, NIST 853 is called out as the best practice for government contractors to secure their systems. NIST 853 Revision 5 consists of 20 different families of cybersecurity and privacy controls. The CDPP has a security policy for each of these 20 families, with standards addressing the low and moderate baseline controls of the framework. And for companies that need to be compliant with NIST 800-171, this version provides coverage for the low and moderate baseline controls, so you could implement it for your NIST 800-171 compliance needs, which corresponds to CMMC 2.0, levels 1 through 2. Who is it for? NIST 853 moderate can be used for defense contractors, government contractors, technology businesses like MSPs and CSPs, and large general business, retail, healthcare, and insurance organizations. It should not be used for smaller businesses. This product is intended for medium and large organizations, government agencies, and any organization whose primary driver is alignment with the NIST 853 Revision 5 moderate baseline. If you need to address multiple frameworks simultaneously, consider the SCRP, the Security, Compliance, and Resilience Program instead. The CDPP is a one-time purchase of editable Microsoft Office documentation templates. There is no software to install, no agent to deploy, no account to provision, and no cloud environment to configure. It is delivered as fully editable Word and Excel files, compatible with Word 2016 and newer, Microsoft 365, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, and Google Docs and Sheets. Documentation is delivered via email download link within 1 to 2 business days of purchase. There is no installer, no license server, and no activation step. A single entity license is included with purchase. There is no recurring subscription requirement, although an optional update subscription is available. This deployment model is intentional. Cybersecurity documentation benefits from being in the organization's own hands, inside your own version control and document management systems, rather than locked inside a vendor's SaaS tool. Once delivered, this product belongs to you. There are 4 documentation challenges that most organizations face. The first is a lack of in-house security experience. Writing security documentation is a skill that many good cybersecurity professionals simply are not proficient at, and tasking your analysts and engineers to write it means taking them away from protecting and defending your network. The second is compliance requirements. Nearly every organization is required to have formally documented security policies and standards, with requirements ranging from PCI DSS to HIPAA to NIST 800-171. The third is audit failures. Security documentation does not age gracefully like a fine wine, and outdated documentation leads to gaps that expose organizations to audit failures and system compromises. And the fourth is vendor and customer requirements. It is very common for clients and partners to request evidence of a security program, and that includes policies and standards. The CDPP delivers 4 outcomes. The first is clear documentation. You receive comprehensive documentation to prove that your security program exists, saving hundreds of hours and tens of thousands of dollars in staff and consultant expenses. The second is time savings. The CDPP is a semi-customized solution that requires minimal resources to fine-tune for your organization's specific needs. The third is an audit-defensible format. Documentation is written to withstand scrutiny by external assessors and NIST 853 auditors, with footnotes providing authoritative source references throughout. And the fourth is alignment with leading practices. The NIST-based CDPP is written to align your organization with NIST 853 Revision 5. So what do you actually receive? Here is a look at the content of the NIST 853 moderate baseline version of the CDPP, the editable Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel documentation that is delivered to you. Purchase includes a single entity license, the first year of product updates, and 4 content components. The Microsoft Word version, a cover page and executive summary template, policy sections aligned to the moderate baseline structure, supporting standards for each policy domain, guidelines, parameters and recommended defaults, and footnoted references to the NIST 853 source controls. The Microsoft Excel version, the full moderate baseline control catalog with mappings, providing crosswalk mapping from NIST 853 to the CDPP's policies and standards, as well as other common laws, regulations, and frameworks. NIST 853 integration content, direct mapping to the current Revision 5, moderate baseline, a cross-reference matrix to other major frameworks, assessment-ready language and structure, and evidence requirements identified per control. And optionally, it pairs with the NIST 853 moderate baseline version of the CSOP for step-by-step procedures that map one-to-one to the CDPP's standards. The companion cybersecurity standardized operating procedures is sold separately and is frequently bundled. Now compare that against the 2 alternatives for obtaining quality cybersecurity documentation. For your internal staff to generate comparable documentation, it would take them an estimated 600 internal staff work hours, which equates to a cost of approximately $38,000 in staff-related expenses. That is about 6 to 12 months of development time. If you hire a consultant, it would take an estimated 500 consultant work hours, which equates to a cost of approximately $95,500. That is about 4 to 8 months of development time. The NIST 853 moderate version of the CDPP is approximately 5% of the cost for your internal staff and approximately 2% of the cost for an external consultant to generate equivalent documentation. The CDPP itself is $1,980. PDF examples of both the policies and standards document and the crosswalk mapping are available on the product page, so you can see the quality and structure before you buy. So how much work is left for you? ComplianceForge aims for approximately a 90% solution because it is impossible to write a 100% cookie-cutter document that can be equally applied across every organization. In practice, customization is essentially filling in the blanks, adding your company name and logo, which ComplianceForge applies for you before delivery. Tailoring parameters, such as review cadences and thresholds. Naming specific owner roles. And removing sections that do not apply to your organization. If you want a hand, ComplianceForge offers optional professional services. They are not required to customize ComplianceForge documentation. The 5-hour bundle may be beneficial for companies that need some guidance on getting started. The 10-hour bundle is for companies that need additional guidance on tailoring their documentation to meet their compliance requirements. and the 20-hour bundle is for companies that need robust services beyond just 10 hours. Purchased professional service hours expire 120 days, or 4 months, from the time of purchase if unused. Hours are intended to supplement, not replace, your own customization work. The CDPP is intentionally specialized for the NIST 853, Revision 5 Moderate Baseline. Every policy heading, every standard, and every metric uses the language and structure of NIST 853 so that auditors, assessors, and internal stakeholders see exactly what they expect. The 20 families of controls found in NIST 853 equate to the 20 policies in the CDPP, organized according to FIPS 199 management, operational, and technical categories, from access control and audit and accountability through supply chain risk management and system and services acquisition. One more reason to buy. As this pyramid shows, policies, standards, and procedures build on each other. The CDPP covers the policies and standards, while the companion CSOP covers the procedures. The CDPP answers the what and the why questions for NIST 853 compliance through policies and standards. The matching moderate baseline version of the CSOP answers the how question, with step-by-step procedures that map one-to-one to the CDPP's standards. Buying both as a bundle is the most common configuration for organizations that want a complete documentation set. And procedures are not optional from an audit standpoint. Auditors need to verify that standards are actually implemented in operational practice, and procedures are the documented evidence of that implementation. For CISOs, the CDPP includes metrics that are designed for executive reporting. CISOs need to communicate program health in language that executives understand, and these metrics are structured to roll up from individual control performance to executive-level dashboards. The metrics are mapped to common reporting cadences such as monthly, quarterly, and annual. And each one identifies suggested owners, target thresholds, and escalation criteria. This is particularly important for organizations subject to NIST 853 oversight, where leadership accountability is increasingly explicit. If you have any questions, please email support@ComplianceForge.com or call 1-307-241-8740. We've been helping organizations since 2005, and we are always happy to help.